Would you believe me if I told you it took me only 2 days to build this desk? It's a great beginner friendly project and it's great for small spaces. So if you're ready to learn how to build it, then keep watching. I started by cutting the ends off my 2x2s, and if you don't already do this to all of the dimensional lumber that you get at any lumber yard, I highly recommend it because it's rarely ever square. So making it square is going to make your project a lot easier in the long run. For this entire project, I'm using edge glued pine boards. I got them from Menards and they're actually less expensive than plywood. So for this entire build, that is what I'm using. I use my table saw to cut it down, but you can also use your circular saw. I usually use my AccuCut with my circular saw to cut it down. And then of course I'm using pocket holes. I love my 720 Pro. It makes it really quick. I just pop my boards in and then it adjusts to the depth that it needs to drill for me. And then it gets it perfect every single time. I used pocket holes and wood glue to first attach the legs together. Then I attach the back. For this desk, there are two front pieces that are 7" by 3.5". So these two front pieces will sit right at the front of the desk in between that drawer. Using a clamp when actually attaching these is going to be a lot easier. Then I attach the dividers that will attach that front piece to the back, and this creates a really sturdy desk. For the bottom, I actually popped it onto the top, clamped it, and then traced it out to see where I needed to cut those notches for the legs. And that way it turns out flush. I just used my jigsaw for this. It made it really simple. I actually recommend attaching the top before you attach the bottom. I did things a little wonky here, but it'll be a lot easier to attach the top now because you have access to the bottom, whereas later you only have access from the top. So it makes actually attaching the top to the base really tricky. So do the top first before you do the bottom. Don't make the same mistake as me. To attach the drawer slides, I just took the thickness of the front of the drawer and used that to push my slides back the exact depth I wanted them to be. And then I attach my drawer sides. I always do this first. Attach your drawer sides, and then you're going to measure between each drawer side, and this is gonna give you the exact measurement of the boards that go in between your drawer sides, so your front and your back pieces of your drawer. I promise you, this works every single time. You're gonna pocket hole the front and the back of the drawer box. This is gonna make it so it's invisible, and it's a really easy way to build a drawer box. This is my absolute favorite way. Then it's time to put the drawer box together. I use wood glue and pocket holes again, and then I slid the 1/4" bottom into the groove that I made on my table saw. You definitely don't have to do it this way. You can just nail it to the bottom or screw it to the bottom if you want. This just adds a little bit extra strength if you're putting a bunch of stuff in there. I added the 2x2 supports on the bottom with, again, pocket holes and wood glue, and this just keeps it from shifting. And then I added the drawer front. Pop a clamp on there and then use some screws to attach it to the drawer box. This is by far my favorite way to attach a tabletop. It's also the easiest. Use figure 8s. These allow for wood movement with the seasons. Especially pine, you're gonna find more wood movement. you can only do it if you have access from the bottom. So make sure you put that bottom on last. Top on first, bottom on last. Then I used a tan paint and mixed it with water to create a tan wash. I wanted it to kind of look like white oak without the crazy price, and it worked so well. I just popped it on there with my rag, and then I wiped it off with the grain, and it came out beautiful. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget that you can grab your free plans for this desk in the description. Happy building.